Hey YouTube, back with another Halo video finally. I know it's been a while, but some changes have happened. Got me an HD capture card, which I'm very happy about and excited to bring you some high quality gameplay. Finally, I know that has been something that has been lacking on my channel, but now we fixed that problem and you're getting the best from now on, and I'm very pleased and excited about that. I have a topic I want to discuss today, one that's been troubling me for a while, and I really want to get some opinions on it, and also, more importantly, share my own. If you've played Halo 4, that is, for the past year, you may have noticed that the maps get a bit stale. And they're good maps, like Haven and Adrift and Simplex. Very good maps. Those are my 3 favorite maps in the game at this point, I believe. Or that, you know, are in rotation normally. But here's the problem. They feel stale. I've played them so much. I'm just so used to everything that they have to offer. But there are these maps in the game. Skyline, Monolith, Pitfall, you know, a great remake of the Pit, and Vertigo. You have all these wonderful maps in the game, but we can't play them most of the time because DLC is not a required thing in Halo 4 multiplayer. The only playlist that requires it is Throwdown, and its population is so low that it's so ridiculous to even try to get into a match, and if you do, you're probably going to run into some of the biggest tryhards in the game. So if you're not the best player like myself, that's probably or I'm not, let me rephrase that. If you're like me and you're not the greatest player, you're probably not going to want to go into that playlist because it's just not going to be very appealing to you, and you're not going to have much fun because you're going to be constantly losing. So the maps in the game are stale, and this goes for the big team maps as well, and we want to play different maps. We have very good maps in the DLC, but we have no opportunity to play these maps. Now, why is that? Well, in a lobby you are required to have all 8 players, or how many ever it is depending on the particular lobby. They all have to own the DLC package. Now, it doesn't have to be all the DLC packages, it just has to be the same DLC package. So, out of the past, I want to say 3 or 4 months, at least, of Halo, only one time have I gone into a lobby where a DLC map has come up, and that particular map would be Pitfall. That happened right around Thanksgiving, possibly due to the Black Friday sales of the Game of the Year edition, which happens to include all of the DLC packs released up to this time. So when I first heard about the DLC being available in the Game of the Year edition for free, I was like, this is a great opportunity. We can have all these players getting these maps, you know, and it's going to be a great opportunity to get these maps in rotation. More people will have them, so they'll come up more often. Well, no. They didn't advertise it very well, and I don't think they've advertised it very well for Christmas, which is upcoming. So that's probably not going to happen. And that was probably one of our best attempts at getting people to get on Halo and increase the population, and to get them, or to get all of us playing these DLC maps. So clearly, from a lack of interest, a lack of advertising, and a lack of effort and concentration on 343's part, we are not going to get people playing these DLC maps based solely on their desire to play these maps. It's just not going to happen. So we need a new solution. one that would allow the people that want to play the DLC maps to play them, and those that do not or don't want to pay for them can just avoid it altogether and continue playing Halo. That way we preserve the population numbers and people get what they want. So the best, or recently I've been made aware they are going to make the DLC playlist that will have DLC maps only, but to my knowledge, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, it requires you to own all 4 DLC packs. Now, this is just what I've heard. I'm not very well informed on it, so if somebody knows differently, let me know. But if it, I am fully convinced that it requires all 4 DLC packs, of which I only own 3. Now, the Crimson map pack I bought, you know, I was excited for new maps, but then after I bought it, I figured out that, oh, these are big team maps, and I don't play a lot of big teams, so I was like, I just wasted some money. And I'm fairly new to Halo, so, you know, it's just a rookie mistake. So, like, okay, when the next map pack comes out, I'll check to make sure it's small to mid-sized maps, and it was. It was the Majestic map pack that had Monolith and Skyline. Those maps, I forget what the other one was. But I was like, okay, this one looks really good, and I played that one for a while. It was coming up in the playlist rotations, and I was enjoying it. Very good maps. And then population numbers taper off, and I quit seeing those maps come up. I go into I believe it was around April, and they release a new map pack. I believe it's the Castle map pack, and it was most of the big team maps. So it's like, okay, well, I learned my mistake last time. I'm not going to buy this one because it just doesn't appeal to me. So I didn't, and I'd been doing very well. And then the Champions bundle comes out. It's like, oh, remake of the Pit, which is a popular map from Halo 3, and a new map, Vertigo. It's like, this is a great idea. I think I can get into this. So I buy that, and I play the DLC list. It had a new playlist as well, Ricochet. It looked very promising, and I enjoyed it. But after the hype dies down around those maps, people just stop playing them. And, you know, you get these people that don't buy DLC, they're the ones sticking around, and we're getting thrown into lobbies where we're not given the option to play the DLC maps. So this is obviously a problem, because variety is key. We want variety in our gameplay. We don't want to play the same map over and over again, because it gets boring. It makes people not want to play this game. And that's a big problem that 343 has had with this game, is the lack of desire to play this game. So for me, and I'm sure many others, different maps would be a big help. They fix a lot of the problems that multiplayer has had, not all of them, mind you, but they fix many of these problems. So I was like, why can we not fix this map problem? Well, I think the DLC exclusive playlist would work, but I'm very unlikely to go out and buy the Castle map pack just so I can play these DLC maps. And that is because I'm not a big team player. I know some of them can work for 4v4, but they're rather big, and I don't really, or I don't think I would enjoy them. I watched gameplay of them. They didn't look very appealing to me at all. So I just left it alone. I think all the maps should have their day in a playlist, but not individual playlists, because the maps would become stale in that, because they have 3, or in the case of the Champions bundle, only 2 maps. So the solution I see that could work is make a playlist for 4v4 DLC, and then big team DLC, where you put the Crimson and Castle map packs in one playlist, and then you put Majestic and Champions in another playlist. That way, you preserve population numbers by allowing people that don't want DLC to keep playing other playlists, and the people that want DLC, you can divide them by their subcategories into 4v4 or big team. Simple fix, but I don't think they're going to go with that. I have not heard of anything about that, so that's really disappointing to me. And I think my solution would be a good one. It may not get huge numbers, but I think it would certainly increase the population. Now, another wild idea I had, and I'm not sure of the validity of this idea because, you know, it may be a bit much to pull off, but I believe if you can sell a number of the DLC packs, maybe 3 to 4 of them to a person, that perhaps if they do that, they could be given weapon skins, new armors, and perhaps, in a long shot, even early access to a Halo 5 demo or beta for the multiplayer. So I think these maps would demonstrate, at least in the case of the Majestic and Champions maps, 343's ability to improve the game and include things that are better fitted to the desires of the community. And once they see that, they'll be excited to go into the demo for the next Halo. So I think that would be a great idea. Whether they would do it or not, that is a whole nother thing. Leave your opinions about this. Tell me what you think of mine. Tell me your own opinions. Tell me if you actually want to see these DLC maps, or you're just one of the people that want to play what they bought in the original package. And just let me know those things. I'll see you next time. So stay tuned.
Game over. Victory.